With their family feuds raging, Meghan and Harry had Brooklyn Beckham and his wife Nicola Peltz over for dinner last week. Now, millions of us are harbouring just one cherished wish. Oh, to have been a fly on the wall. Like the runaway prince's sad son, Brooklyn is bitterly estranged from his relatives in Britain and no longer talks to his father. According to reports, the two couples found a lot of common ground and, I quote, shared the trauma of their toxic family feuds. Harry, we're told, offered Brooklyn his unwavering support. How David Beckham must have loved learning of this secret summit at the Sussex's Montecito mansion. In other bad news, already the dim Duke was not exactly Britain's favourite guy, but after his disastrous spoilt brat interview on the BBC following the inevitable failure of his ill-advised legal battle to get armed police protection in the UK, a new poll reveals that the declining arc of Harry's popularity has accelerated into a high-speed plummet. It's not only the king who's had enough of the petulant prince. The British people are sick to death of him. But hang on, hold the front page. Meghan has sensationally disclosed that she's too busy to cook for her husband and kids. But she's great at making their takeaways look beautiful. Wow. So does this mean that as well as a full-time nanny, the down-to-earth Sussexes also employ a chef? You decide. Meanwhile, when the time comes, it seems that Harry is unlikely to attend his hated sibling William's coronation. More to the point, given the mother of all brotherly conflicts, sulky old ginger nuts is unlikely to be invited. Moving on. On the last blockbuster edition of What Just Happened, I asked the key question: has Meghan ruined Harry? Now that the once carefree, fun-loving prince has turned into a miserable moaner, lashing out from the depths of his paranoia at a world he thinks is conspiring against him, there can be no doubt that the answer is an emphatic yes. But how has the difficult Duchess destroyed the happy-go-lucky, likely lad that we once knew and loved? I think it's this. She has sucked him into the corrosive quicksand of her all-consuming victimhood. And I'm not alone. Canon Angela Tilby, whose services Harry attended when he was a schoolboy at the UK's top private school, Eton, and who attended his beloved mum Diana's funeral, fears for the likeable youngster who grew up to be an unlikable, whinging adult. In an article in the Church Times, the concerned priest urged the downbeat Duke to, and I quote, give up the role of victimhood, adding, I grieve for the ginger-topped teenager I once preached to. I believe he is a decent man, but so far he has found no way to switch off the trauma in his head. She got that right. Just like his wife, hapless Harry has become a deeply depressing professional victim. Nothing is his fault. He didn't lose his long legal battle because he's a stubborn half-wit who refused to accept that his fatuous case was a forlorn no-hoper from the start. He lost it, he insisted to the BBC, because he was the victim of a classic establishment stitch-up. He's the victim of a conspiracy between his father, the king, and shadowy government figures who want him dead. The royal family, especially William and Kate, didn't develop reservations about Meghan because of the way she bullied palace staff. She was simply the victim of royal racism. All of this is nonsense, of course, the type of fantastical claptrap to which the only sensible response can be, yeah, right. This is the deranged reasoning of a tormented man who believes everyone is out to get him. King Charles and his clan are not racists, and quite obviously no one wants him dead. The sad truth is that, in the great scheme of things, Harry and Meghan have become an irrelevant sideshow that no longer matters much. We watch the soap opera of their strange lives on the California coast with car crash interest. What the hell do this preposterous pair think they're doing? but that's about it. As we're only too well aware, Meghan has always been a mad, keen player of the victim card. The nasty Brits who took against her because of the colour of her skin. The social media lynch mob who are so unconscionably cruel to her. The journalist haters who keep writing about what a bully she is. All the negative media coverage she gets has nothing to do with her. It's not her personality. It's not her behaviour. And it's definitely not her ruthless ambition. Right? Yeah, right. Many of you will be watching this show on your phone, your tablet or laptop, completely oblivious that someone could be accessing your device and stealing your data. Using the internet without private internet access is like having a doctor's appointment televised. Everyone tuning in now knows about your high cholesterol. Whenever you browse the internet on an unprotected device, you're unknowingly transmitting a great amount of data into the open. That's where Private Internet Access VPN comes in. A virtual private network, or VPN for short, is an app that hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection through an encrypted tunnel. It shields your digital life from the eyes of those who are looking to exploit your private information. Whenever you connect to the internet on public Wi-Fi, at airports, coffee shops, friends' houses, or even at your own home, your data is at risk of being stolen. Hackers on the same network can easily steal your personal data. With PIA, you're protected. And there's more. With PIA, you can access all your usual streaming services, including Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+, even if you're outside your own region. All you need to do is open the app, select a server from 91 countries, and just like that, you're digitally there. And with just one PIA subscription, you can protect an unlimited number of devices. So that's the whole family covered. Follow the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen now to receive a massive 86% discount, making it just £1.57 per month. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and to top it off, you'll receive 4 additional months for free. Head to piavpn.com/TalkTV now and take control of your digital life. So, Samara, Andrew, did you know that Harry's got a new job? Check it out. He's delivering Meghan's jam. More of that later. But if you saw that footage, that extraordinary footage. This is a guy, right? I'm so unsafe when I'm in Britain. Everybody's trying to kill me. My family would be at such risk. Oh my God, do you realise how unsafe he is? So he heads across town after being in court. He can't find his mate because he doesn't know where he lives. So he's banging on all these doors. Just that, you know, you can see him on the people's ringtone things. And so you think, well, where's the safety in that? And also, the friends he was looking for, it turns out that they moved to Switzerland years ago.
Everyone's abandoned him.
Once again, he's firing on all cylinders up top. Man, he is not the sharpest pin in the pack, is he? But did you notice he had this massive boil on his nose? Did you notice it?
Yeah, he did. It looked very disgusting, and it also makes me think. But it makes me think, like, is he putting makeup on to go to court? Like, are we not seeing the real him? Because whenever I see an unedited, we're used to seeing the Meghan stuff that she posts on the gram. But when you see him in a Ring camera, you're like, wow, that man's aged about 10 years in about 2 months. So yeah, no, he didn't look great.
It was extraordinary. What I love is this is the modern day version of Knock Ginger.
Knock down Ginger. Brilliant. Somebody should have used that headline. That is great. Knock down Ginger. Yeah, we used to do that as kids.
Exactly. You knock on the doors and you run away. That's what they happened. That
was a true story. When I was a kid, I lived, for a while, my family lived near Dover. And I'm not kidding you, there was a guy who lived there called Gilbert Crapper.
Yes.
And he was a descendant of the man who invented the
Absolutely,
loo,
yeah.
who was called Mr. Crapper.
Oh.
But my God, did we give Gilbert Crapper a lot of hard time on the knockdown ginger front,
How
you can
funny.
imagine. But, yeah, knockdown ginger. I mean, what is going on with this guy, Samara?
I think it's exactly what you said in the monologue. They can't be seen as victims anymore. And it's because they keep doing stuff which is completely hypocritical and the opposite of what they're trying to preach. So, you know, Meghan goes, I want privacy, I want privacy. Her Instagram has turned into a broadcast channel of every left, right and centre move that they take.
Yeah.
Every sort of finger that's lifted by one of their kids who they so famously wanted privacy for. Harry saying that he wants protection and security, going around and knocking on people's doors the day of him being in court trying to fight for that. They're hypocrites, and no one's falling for it, Kev.
It is ridiculous. I mean, she's now, Meghan, delivering a textbook lesson in how to destroy your own privacy. We'll be later. It's a bit of a spoiler alert, but later on, I've made Meghan's cookies.
Hey.
I did. I really did. I've tried one. You know, we'll deliver the verdict later. And last night, of course, I tried the jam on my programme, The Political Asylum. That's on Talk 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. I highly recommend it. So we've tried that. We'll try. We'll get Samara and Andrew to try the cookies and the jam, and we'll give our verdict. But Samara went to a lot of effort to get this stuff to us from As Ever, her website. So when we try this, I'll tell you, you know, the jam is $14 a jar or something. By the time we got it over from America, it's about 300 quid, about $500. So we'll be trying that later. But when it arrived at Samara's home, here she is, excitedly unpacking the goods.
What the hell is that? You know, I paid $14 for this, and it's just come bashed up. She writes, let's call this a hug in a box. I fell in love with the ritual of tea and biscuits during my time in the UK. Lies. So we're off to a great start. Meghan's packaging is crappy, to say the least. Look at that. I mean, for the amount of money I paid for this jam, I was expecting a little bit better than a ripped note. The cookie mix. Wow. Okay. That is some horrific... I just want to show you that. Yeah, I wouldn't call this smashed up box a hug in a box. This looks like abuse in a box. Then again, it's Meghan, so what do you expect? Ugh. That does not... Try and show you this. That does not look... The consistency looks very concerning.
Well, this is the very shortbread cookie mix that Samara was talking. This is the very box, and it did turn up in a right old mess.
It really did.
And also we had some edible flowers, which I can reveal. I have tried a few. They taste like sawdust. And so we've got the... this is the As Ever jam. As I say, $14 if you're in America. If you live in Britain like we do in London, about £300, $500, something like that. I guess, and these, everybody.
Come on.
Look at that.
Those are the cookies.
I made these.
Beautiful.
I made these. And by the way, the instructions, it's so complicated. And if you haven't got a $500 food processor, you won't be able to make them. I had to extemporise. But I think I tried one earlier. Let's see what everybody thinks. Well, first of all, should we try the cookies?
Yeah, do the cookies.
My delicious cookies from... with edible flowers on them, as you can see. Well, Samara, here we are.
Thank you very much.
If you'd like to take two and pass
Yes.
one.
There we go. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Untouched by
There
human
you go.
hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
go.
Very clean.
Right, OK, well, let's go.
Try this.
Oh, my God.
That's so insulting.
That is insulting.
Don't be so insulting.
No, it's not. I don't want to diminish. It's just so bland, Kev.
I quite like it. I think Kev's done a good job on these. And I think it looks
I've
beautiful.
never been so insulted in my life.
They're quite salty, though, aren't they? They're
They're not bloody salty.
No, they're very salty. It's like
They are salty.
Megan's cried her victimhood tears into these and sort of produced a bland yet
they're
over-salted
sort of
cookie.
shortbread, you know,
Yeah.
the sort of stuff you get in Scotland. Now, the point is...
It's not the stuff you get in Scotland, though. That's the problem.
Well,
It's really not.
I mean, but I take your point. I think you're... That's a bit of an extreme reaction. Look, I made these cookies. Thanks very much.
I can't lie,
I
Kev.
slaved over a hot stove for
I'm
hours.
sorry, but that is just, I mean,
Look,
they're cooked perfectly in
Thank you,
terms of
Rick.
how you've done
And they are beautifully presented. I
Yeah.
love the edible flowers
the
on it.
people that are going to get really upset that we've gone and bought stuff off Meghan, it is purely for journalism. It's not.
Here's the point, though. Here's the point. That this is where I do take your point, Samara. I mean, it's like, nah, you know. I mean, they're all right. Aren't they? They're
$14.
okay.
They're not. There are better cookies which you can buy in several stores.
It's just very average. Nothing to write home about.
But it is much saltier than a normal cookie. The cookies are normally
Well, I didn't put
sweeter
any
than this.
salt in
Well,
them.
Kev, you hit the nail on the head much earlier, though.
Yeah.
It's and I don't know if it's on or off camera, but it's sort of. Who's going to go back and say, oh, you know, those shortbread cookies?
this is it.
It's a bad business model, Kev.
I think we'll talk about this in a minute, but I do fear for the future of As Ever, having tried the products. Right, so this is the jam.
Easy to get open.
This is like a cardboard cylinder. It's not. It's quite nice
Don't-
looking.
Quite
I suppose.
nice.
I mean, and they
Don't make me
so here
do
we go. Here we go. Ready?
Here's the reveal.
Ta-da!
beautiful.
Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. I mean, so I already tried this on my show, but the others
Yes.
haven't. The first thing you notice is look at that. You see the way it's almost as if you've got a kind of, you know, a cup of water. Or
Well, it's
something.
bloody
No.
good.
very,
isn't
very
it?
No,
thin.
if you're listening at home, it looks like vom. Seriously.
No, hang on. We've got to be fair about this.
Let's be fair. Here we are.
Let's
It
be
is
fair.
bloody good. It's not jam.
Let's be fair about this.
Okay.
Because as I say, I mean, again, spoiler alert, I did try this on my show last
Yes.
night. And, you know, it's not horrible.
Well, round
It's
two.
just deeply average.
It doesn't sell it with
So-
not
That
horrible.
sounds
does
like
it?
what Meghan is.
So
She is horrible.
there you go, Samara.
Thank you.
Cracker.
And if you
Fantastic.
could pass
Thank you very
that
much.
to...
Thank you,
Pass
Father
it down.
Kev.
Here we go.
All right, there we
Wanna
go.
try
So
some of
we're
this?
now trying the Meghan
Okay,
jam.
I mean, I'll go down this path for a second.
Posh preserve. I quite like it. It's very
not bad.
rubbery. It's not bad. I mean, it's very gooey. It is bloodied goo to look at.
I think it's thin. I think
Well, it is thin, and that's the thing. That's why you can't call it jam, because it has that 45%
Right, pass
fruit in
me,
there to be jam.
if you could, Samara.
cookie?
No, not the cookie, the William jam.
Oh,
Now,
yeah,
this
here we
is
are.
Prince William's jam.
Oh, good.
From the Duchy of Cornwall here. So you remember the King, when he was the Prince of Wales, set up this sort of business. And these products are always really nice. Duchy of Cornwall, they're lovely, but they're notoriously high-priced.
Yes.
Now, this is Meghan's thin gruel of jam. It's not vile. It's
That's
all
not
right.
bad. I like it.
I don't.
that-
On the record, I hate it.
Okay, a lot of people have
It's
said that.
disgusting. It's like it hasn't been. It's actually like it's been rushed. It's
Okay.
been the production's been rushed.
I think
But
it's
anyway,
a lot of people have said the same. I just think it's average. Now, this is Prince William's
Yes.
Duchy of Cornwall, the royal. Now, they are notoriously highly priced,
Yes.
these products. £3.
£3.
So this is the equivalent of like about £20.
Yeah.
So this is $5. This is
Yep.
$14. So I'll pass you some of
There
this.
we go.
It's
Well, you can tell the consistency is very different. This is a proper jam. as
Yeah, and
opposed
by
to
the way,
goo.
let's not forget that Meghan's jam is not jam because there's not enough fruit in it.
Exactly. It's got to be 45% fruit. You have to make it a
I
jam.
buy a lot from the Duchy and from all the various Buckingham Palace brands because they're very like accessible. You can buy the cookies. You can buy.
They're lovely. Yeah,
yeah.
they're lovely.
They're very
So
like.
once
buy
you
them in
try that,
Waitrose.
you'll have the same
Probably say that.
result.
Thank you.
Reaction as me, I think.
Yeah.
It puts Meghan's jam into sharp focus.
Oh, come on.
You see what I mean?
No,
You see
that
what I
is
mean?
a jam, and that is a sour
You see
goo.
what?
in
Yeah. You see what I
comparison.
mean?
But I still like both of them. But this is strawberry as opposed to raspberry, which is a
Nah.
big difference as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but this is Williams. There's a depth to this.
There is a depth, and there's meaning rather than sort of
That's a proper jam.
It's a
It is.
proper
You're right.
jam.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
as opposed to posh preserve pedals
Oh.
at prices.
So there
But
you
you
go.
know, as a consumer, if I say, £3 that is for us, I'd buy that every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is really nice.
Yeah,
Buy
so value for money, this,
Yeah.
definitely. Meghan's, it's not value for money, bad value for money, really difficult to make. Took about like 2-3 hours. You know, you have to get a food processor. Food processors are what,
Delicious.
$500
Yeah.
or something, or
Yeah.
300 quid over here. I mean, you know, hey, Meghan, I don't know if you got the memo, but not everybody can afford that kind of kitchen equipment.
Really?
I'll tell you what, it's nice with the cookie, though. You combine the jam with the cookie. That's not bad, actually.
But it takes,
the Meghan
you have to
jam,
put it
let
in
me
the
just-
fridge for 60 minutes. It takes
Oh, do you?
hours.
Yeah.
The only thing that's quick is when you
Let me
actually put
try.
it in the oven. It's only 12 minutes or so.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, well,
But anyway, so this packaging, she's obsessed with this packaging. Well, this is just a crappy little box.
Yes.
No big deal at all. The wrapping on the edible flowers, I don't know what, it's just like a sort of packet of drawing pins or something. And this, they say, this is you can use this for all sorts of things.
Keepsake
What?
packaging.
What else can you use it for? I don't know. So the point is, as you
you
said,
said you can use it for your paintbrushes.
but as you said, Samara, and as I thought immediately I tried all this stuff, I thought, okay, a few people, out of interest,
Yes.
intrigue, novelty value, bought this Meghan produce from As Ever,
Yeah.
first time around. I was quite interested myself. Who's going to do it again?
No, but nobody is, and it's a show-off thing. It's rather like people
Not
who
me.
bought. It's people who bought.
Certainly not Samara.
Unless I want to file for bankruptcy and throw up in the side of after this recording.
But it's bragging rights, isn't it? Because it's so rare to get it over here. It's like buying those satanic verses or there's a spy catcher.
similar to the
Nobody
Satanic
ever read those
Verses.
books, but what they did, they would have it on the tube, and people would say, "Well, hang about, you managed to get hold of a copy." And so well done you for getting it, because it's sold out on the website, isn't it?
Well,
and you
that's
look on
what
that
I
sort of
mean,
basis,
like-
and actually, it's very sour compared to the very sweet Williams on that sort of basis.
Yeah. And I mean, also very, very quickly, you know, we'll leave it hanging here, but where the hell are these two heading? I mean, the estrangement from the royal family over here is now complete after that interview. We're hearing now they're sort of having summits with that other runaway son, Brooklyn Beckham.
Yes.
They're lost in their own
Building bridges with Brooklyn.
strange little world. I tell you, they're just a car crash soap opera.
Does that not depress you, just looking at the fact
No,
that...
I made them myself. I think they're fantastic.
No, look at this, like, a bit of, like, crappy packaging.
Kevin's cookies, an avalanche of alliteration. It's got to be good.
She left one of the greatest institutions in the world, the royal family, for that. Sorry.
As did he.
As did he.
Right, well, it's time now for a bad ad.
おしゃべり上手歌も男子も任せてね賢いねって言われます食べるの大好き感情豊かに百面相いつも一緒あなただけのバディ
These Japanese adverts, Furbies, they're a thing, aren't they?
They are, and it's going to get even bigger. I can tell you, I was at the toy fair in Bologna, and Furbies are about to do this whole merchandising licensing thing, which we're involved
And there's several stories we've got to cover, and you might not consider this to be the most important story of the week, but I certainly consider it to be probably the funniest. It's Donald Trump's desire to take from the state of Qatar a free, brand new Air Force One jumbo jet. And what he loves about it, because you know these Arab nations, they love gold.
They do.
As a decoration.
Yeah.
And so does Donald. And if you go inside of this particular jumbo jet, the luxury jumbo, it is a palace
Glorious.
of gold. So he wants to take this for free.
Yes.
And a lot of people in America have their reservations. Take a look.
What do you say to people who view that luxury jet as a personal gift to you? Why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
Because only ABC, well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
Have you ever been given a gift worth millions of dollars and then not received anything?
It's not a gift to me, it's a gift to the Department of Defense. And you should know better, because you've been embarrassed enough, and so has your network. Your network is a disaster. ABC is a disaster.
The network is a disaster.
A disaster.
I mean,
love
the point is, that, you
Yes.
know, I love Donald Trump. Love him what he's doing in America. I love the war on woke.
Yes.
And the Doge. I love that. You know, everything he's doing, I think is great, and also tackling the migrant crisis. I'm all for him. But I think the jet thing Maybe he doesn't know it yet, but I don't think he will be accepting this jet in the end from Qatar. Imagine it. If Air Force One is a gift from Qatar, every time you see it on telly, people go, that's a gift from Qatar.
Of course they will.
A gift from another state. And to be honest, I think this is about the sort of national pride of America. America should be able to afford the president's jet, don't you think, Samara?
I totally disagree. I think
there you go.
No, I mean, I myself, I'm not going to get into the details, that's for another time, but I've actually been on the Qatar business jet. No, just one time I did go on the one that's similar to the one that they're gifting him, and relatable content, but if they offered that to me,
you probably owned it, didn't you?
Oh my God, they don't pay that
so much
here.
money.
Oh yeah, well I bought the Meghan jam, so I'm broke now.
Yeah. She got so much money she can afford 300 quid for a jar of jam.
No, anyway, if they offered me that for free, I'd be like, yeah, no problem. I'll sell myself to the devil. All good. No, I'm joking. Look, the thing is, his sort of justification of it is that Air Force One is falling apart.
Yes.
It's not at the standard that he's used to, and he wants a new jet. I mean, what's the problem? The only issue I can think of is that Qatar's probably bugged the whole thing.
Well, I was going to say, you're going to have to scan it really well to make sure.
But I mean, yes, I do believe, I hear that the current Air Force One is falling apart. It seems. Yeah. I agree with that. They need a new one. But surely the wise way forward would be for America to buy its own.
Well, they tried, and isn't this a problem? He's sort of highlighting the slowness of people like Boeing. Hasn't he got an order in, which has taken an eternity? So I reckon what Donald is doing is using this as a negotiating tool to turn around and say, look, buck up your ideas, otherwise I'm going to go over here.
Very good point. I mean, knowing him, he's got a plan up his sleeve.
I don't know.
But I mean, I think your point is interesting. I mean, I'm not going to go to the wall on it. It just seems to me that if he takes this jet from Qatar, every time you see the president landing in a foreign country, people will say, of course, that jet was a gift from Qatar.
Yeah.
I don't think America needs that. I don't think America
But it's a gift to the country, isn't it? And this is what Donald's saying. He's turning around and saying, it's not to me. We're saving 400 million, with my understanding, with a bit of change. And you're working on that sort of basis.
You do know that he looks like a cheap date to them, I'm not going to lie, because that's pennies for them to throw at him, and nothing is a free gift. Yeah. So as much as I agree with him wanting it, I just think that it's not a good decision for him to actually take it.
You said it was.
No, I'm saying if they offered it to me, I'd say yeah.
Well, you would, I would. But should the great nation of America do that?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, right, so you do agree.
No,
where you stand.
No, but he's acting cheap. It's like you can be bought for 400
million.
Yeah,
that's not cheap.
I mean, for America's...
400 million isn't much for America.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's a gift, and you work on the basis. And people get gifts all the time. And if you look at the royal family, as long as he declares
no such thing as a free gift.
No, of course it's not free.
As long as he declares it, he's going to kind of have to.
He's told
Where did you get that plane, Mr. President? I'm not telling you. Right, let's move on, because there's a couple of stories that have happened back here that I know are of great interest in America. I've seen Joe Rogan talking about these cases. It's about the loss of freedom in Britain.
Yes.
First of all, let's talk about a retired policeman. He was a voluntary copper. We call them hobby bobbies over there. For 10 years, this guy called Julian Fawkes. He lives in a county of Kent, nice county on the south coast here in Britain. He's retired now, 71 years old. For 10 years of his life, he volunteered to be a hobby bobby, as we call them. So, he's a real decent citizen with a affiliations to the police. Suddenly, 6 coppers turn up on his door, bang the door down, charge into his house, ransack it, handcuff him, and say that he's been, or that he posted a problematic tweet.
They were looking for evidence of extremism. They went through every wardrobe, cupboard, drawer. It felt to me like probably how I would feel if my house was burgled, my home and my castle had been violated. I don't think people understand, just how traumatic this is.
And they went through his wife's underwear drawer. Here's the other thing. Of what they found, these coppers, they found problematic material. And it was one copy, I think it had a couple of books by Douglas Murray.
Yes.
War on the West. Then they found his wife's problematical shopping list. On her list was, wait for it, bleach, tinfoil and rubber gloves. No. She's obviously a terrorist.
Obviously.
Bomb-making material. No, she's a hairdresser.
It's absolutely scandalous.
And the police have apologised, but that's what's going on in this country. Coppers, 6 coppers, they're tasered, armed, into this nice guy's house, and this is what's happening in this country. It's like Stasi, it's like East Germany or Russia, right?
Absolutely. Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. We're in UK at the moment, I think, therefore I am arrested. And that's the reality. We're having all these thought crimes where getting people arrested over tweets they might have expressed. Freedom of speech is one of our fundamental rights, and never has freedom of speech been on a more critical right.
And the fear is, and it's happening here in this country, folks, that the police believe that if you have right-wing views, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
The police are left-wing, and they only like left-wing people. Julian Fuchs there is clearly no extremist, nor is his hairdresser wife. Absolutely outrageous. Also, almost as outrageous, and Joe Rogan was very vociferous about this, as the imprisoning after the summer riots last summer of housewife Lucy Connolly. She got 31 months in jail. What for? This is the campaign to get her released. She got 31 months. What for? She put a tweet out in fury after the Southport murders. Yes. There was 3 little kids slaughtered by that animal, Axel Ruda-Cabana. She was in a fury, Lucy. She was hundreds of miles away. But she put out a tweet on X, Twitter, saying, mass deportations now, set fire to them. It wasn't a very nice tweet. She realised it was over the top and pulled it down fairly soon afterwards, by which time 300,000 people had looked at it. But she was extremely angry, extremely upset for the parents of those poor kids, because she, a year before, had lost her own son in tragic circumstances. Now, she's the first person to say, I shouldn't have put that tweet out. She's apologised. She got 31 months in jail. No one, Samara, in my view, should ever go to jail for what they write on social media. It's a disgrace.
Absolutely, and the real person that should be held accountable is our Prime Minister, who didn't give the public their information. So then they were just left to their own devices, and they didn't know actually what was right, what was wrong. They were just seeing what was on social media, but it was a really, really snowball effect that could have just been stopped if he'd come out and given us the information to begin with. But what did he do? He didn't. Yeah. And so, I mean, I think Starmer's the one who should hang his head in shame about this, and locking people up in this country, that's now what we're known for.
385 people went to jail very quickly after those riots. The whole justice system, our notoriously slow justice system, was speeded up, especially for these rioters that Keir Starmer, 2-tier Keir, called far-right thugs. A police report recently revealed that they weren't far-right. They were just angry about the migrant crisis, and they feared that the guy, the perpetrator, the killer, was a migrant. Turned out he wasn't. He was the son of migrants. So there was a connection. He was also a terrorist because he had at his home ricin poison and an Al-Qaeda terrorist training manual. Now, the point is, 12 out of those 385, Andrew, you'll know about this, you're a barrister, who went to jail for allegedly taking part in these riots, violence. Some of them deserved it. Some of them were throwing bricks at coppers, setting fire to mosques, things like that. I think many of them didn't. But I'll tell you who really didn't. It's the 12 people who went to jail who weren't even there for nasty, hurty words they posted on social media. That's got to stop.
It is absolutely got to stop. And I think it's abhorrent that we've had this sort of system. Lucy should not be in jail at the moment. The punishment does not fit the crime. The other thing, she shouldn't have pleaded guilty to incitement. I don't think she meant to be incitement. I reckon that we should look into this. Sometimes lawyers advise people, actually, you'll get a lower sentence if you plead guilty. And that's part of the problem. I think looking at that post is a very, very dangerous thing.
And as we're speaking, Lucy Connolly's appeal is unfolding in the appeal court here in London. And I'm hearing that she's sobbing in the dock. She's already been in jail for 2 years, or the best part of 2 years. She's a young middle-aged mum. Her husband's not very well, Raymond. She cares for him. She cares for her kids. She looks after other people's kids. This is not a danger. This woman is not a danger to society. She did something unwise, impetuously in the heat of the moment, but I don't think that's the point. I just don't think in a proper, free Western democracy anyone should be going to jail for what they write on social media.
No, absolutely not. And I think Lucy's case is particularly horrible because, we've been quite close with actually her husband, who's been having to really, really battle. First of all, he's lost a child too, just like she. They're in that family, and he is heartbroken. But also, when he came on your show, you could tell that he's very scarred from even speaking about anything. He's had his entire freedom of speech that he should be allowed to have in this country cut.
Absolutely, and we should tell all the viewers around the world that Raymond, Lucy's husband, this may be a factor, is a Conservative councillor, a Tory councillor, the equivalent in America of being a Republican representative. And the fear is that once again, this is our legal system, which comes down like a ton of bricks on people who are conceivably right-wing, but always lets left-wingers run free, always. We have a two-tier system geared towards hating the right and loving the left. Two-tier Keirs. Crappy Britain. It's got to stop. It's got to stop.
It's abhorrent that the legal system is being weaponised in this way.
It really is. After that rather serious discussion, let's have a look at another bad ad, shall we? I worry about Japan. I mean, that advert is for noodles. Is going to go, oh!
2. Keir Starmer has just realised that Britain has an immigration problem. Why did it take him so long?
Because he's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. This is a guy who favours open borders. He's only waking up very late in life to the fact that the population of Britain do not. His problem is he's running this left-wing government that wants everything that the people of this country don't want. He is trying more and more to be more and more right-wing. On the day we're filming, he's gone to Albania to try and seal some kind of deal where we could sort of dump our migrants over in Albania, which is just like the Rwanda scheme. The Rwanda scheme, we were going to put our migrants in Rwanda, in East Africa, of course. But he ditched that scheme on day one of his government, back on July the 5th last year. Now he's looking for other places to do it. It's so pathetic, it's unbelievable. Anyway, he's gone to Albania, and he said to the boss of the leader of Albania, we're going to set up some return hubs in your country. And the leader of Albania has gone, no, you're not.
But all it is, it's a response to the turquoise tidal wave when reform basically took over all the things. It's immigration, and this is legal immigration they're talking about as well as the illegal side. It's basically been the hot topic around the world. And he's come out with the most extraordinary rhetoric. His scriptwriters worked in overtime, didn't they? Talking about an island of strangers and things like that. So he's sort of recognising, he's trying to appease the electorate. As I say, reform won so many things as a result of immigration, and he's basically trying to appease
he's lurching right. He's turning into Enoch Powell. He's infuriating his own party.
He is.
Particularly the left-wingers, and not particularly appealing to the rest of us either.
Nobody
Well done, Keir. Here's a way to appease the electorate with a jolly good magic trick.
Aha!
What have you got for us?
I'll tell you what we've got for you. And we're talking about this sort of stuff. So we're going to use both of you for this. It's interesting. Here's a little prediction over here. Let's say.
Okay.
Meghan Markle, fantastic. She went shopping.
I've heard of her.
We've heard of her. And I thought this is pushing that pricey peddling stuff. Think of a store. Any store at all, Kevin. Name a store.
A store?
Yes, name a...
Marks and Spencer.
Marks and Spencer, fantastic. You're shopping Marks and Spencer's. You're looking for a produce similar to go for Meghan Markle. What do you pick?
Okay, like a fruit, like
anything. What do you want?
like peaches.
Peaches. You want some tin peaches? Okay.
maybe
Tin peaches.
Peaches would be
Name a price. How much do they cost?
It should be less than Meghan's.
Go on then.
It should be about what, $13.99.
$13.99 because
$13.99. What? It's not 1968. How about a British price?
Okay,
Shall I say? I'll give you what?
$13.99. I didn't say currency.
$13.99. No, you can have it because it's funny. Here is the prediction. Let's have a look. Wouldn't it be amazing? You pick Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's sliced peaches, $13.99.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be amazing?
What?
Inside here, earlier on, I thank you.
What's that mean? What's that say?
It's a barcode. I'll tell you what. You thought inside here's the real prediction. Open it up. Open it up. Over there like that. Open it up. And what have you got? Pull it out.
Oh my God!
Inside here, there is in fact a tin of
baked beans.
Wait, what?
Oh, sorry, wrong prediction. What does it say on there?
$13.99.
No, it does say $13.99. I'll tell you what. Open up the beans.
You're
Open up the beans.
Open up the beans. Oh my God!
Open up
I
the
know
beans.
what this is just.
Open up the beans. Come on, open them up.
Oh God!
No
That
way.
is
Open them up and pour them into there. $13.99. Pour them into there. Let's have a look. What
It
have
is
you got?
peaches.
And they are peaches. There you go. Princess Pushy and her peaches. And there's one for you over here like that.
That's amazing.
How good is that? There you go. And that is magic. What just happened?
What just happened? I was really hoping for a while that you balls that up with the baked beans, but you didn't. Great trick. Unbelievable.
That's amazing.
So,
Yes, so the
next
migration crisis.
next question.
What are we going to do with the
What
peaches?
just happened? Next question.
The BBC is spending over £40 million on an AI deal with viewers' complaints. Is that good value for money?
No.
They're basically going to use that to deal with...
I'll tell you what's really bad value for money. That's the TV licence fee that we are forced to pay by law. Around the world, they can barely believe that we have to give this not very good broadcasting company, the BBC, £170, $200, if you like, a year. And if you're caught watching the BBC live television without a TV licence, you can go to prison. Welcome to balmy Britain, folks. So, no, I don't think this is good value at all. I don't think anything the BBC does is good value, particularly their biased reporting of the Middle East and Gaza.
But AI is going to revolutionise. As you know, I talk around the world as a futurist about AI, put the AI into Britain.
Yeah.
It is going to simplify all sorts of procedures, going to speed that up, all sorts of efficiencies. We're already curing diseases. So actually it's going to save more money as a result of it. But viewers' complaints, if an AI machine is answering it, it means they're not really listening, are they? They're basically peddling an answer to
It's like we pay for that service and we've got legitimate complaints about the BBC recently.
Yeah,
and now some robots
look,
gonna
the
handle
BBC's got far more pressing issues to address than mucking around with AI. But I'd be very interested to hear what you all think about AI. Andrew, says, it's going to achieve remarkable things.
Absolutely.
But it might be the death of us all. What do you reckon? Send us messages. We'll have a look at them next week.
A human will.
Have you got another question?
Gary Lineker has apologised for sharing an anti-Semitic tweet.
Yes.
Should he stop using social media?
Well, I think more than that. This is a former footballer who's now our top sports presenter here, works for the BBC, very left-wing, hates Israel, always posting about how wonderful Palestine is. And he's gone too far this time. He's shared a post on Instagram about Zionism with the emoji of a rat, which, of course, is what the Nazis used to depict Jews as, rats. So it's blatantly anti-Semitic. So not only should he stop using social media, he should be fired.
And he's only got a few more months to go before Match of the Day and presenting that sort of side. But you're right, the BBC need to step up and say enough is enough.
Yeah, I mean, I should stress he's apologised, said he didn't know about the rat imagery. I don't believe him, but he said he didn't know. He's unreservedly apologised, but it's too late. He's got so much form on all of this. I just think it's time to draw a line. If the BBC had a backbone, which it doesn't, it would fire him now. I've had enough. The Lineker story is getting tired, old, and extremely depressing. So get rid of that git now. Time for a bad ad.
our pockets.
That's for
I love
chocolates.
those.
Oh,
So
we
the
have
Japanese
those.
seem to think that any product you sell, you just get a load of fake animals, and that'll make you go and buy it.
Hey.
Oh dear. What a Andrew?
The wonderfully called Shanasa4421. She says, "Oh, Kevin, some advice to you. You remind me so much of my cookie, misogynistic uncle, who would never let anyone get a word in edgewise and always knew how to compliment a woman's cooking skills, but never acknowledged her as anything other than a cook. Point is, you're old school and not in a good way. While I agree with the gist of your commentary, I'd urge you to consider your hosting capabilities and skills of your fellow guests. Try your utmost not to interrupt your co-host, which you do with alarming frequency. It's just rude and disrespectful at this point, and you can see the discomfort on their faces. In these and many other segments, it's maddening."
Shanasa, shut up. Samara.
Elizabeth Compton says, Samara, I think you're gorgeous. Oh, that's sweet. Andrew, you're such a breath of fresh air after
You're not gorgeous.
Yeah, you're a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. You're after the departure of woke whinger Simon. Kevin, you're one of my all-time heroes. Don't listen to any of the Sugar Squad. They all need a safe space.
Who's that from again?
That's from Elizabeth Compton.
Elizabeth Compton.
Elizabeth.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth.
Oh, we love Elizabeth Compton.
you.
Yes,
Yeah.
very
Go
good.
ahead.
Breath of fresh air.
Go on, Andrew.
PMC Williamson said, "I do not support Yacht Girl and has no balls. She would be no one without has no balls. Also, Thomas Jr. and Samantha would be no one without the Yacht Girl. They're making money off her. No one ever heard of them before Yacht Girl."
Well, I'm sure that's a really good point. I'm not entirely sure what it means, but well done. Samara?
Klutzy Kevin, your negativity is palpable. You are giving Densley Kinsey a run for her money. So check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Well, my negativity, you see, I've always had this guiding principle in my career. You've got to accentuate the negative and eliminate the positive. That's my philosophy. Next,
Pat
Andrew.
also hurled some abuse my way as well.
Oh, what did she say?
Sycophant Samara needs to differentiate between imply and infer. Yeah, I speak Australian, not English.
Well, there is a difference.
There is a difference.
It annoys me as well. So, who said that again?
Pat Williams.
Pat, with you on that. I hate when people get imply and infer wrong.
It's terrible. Well, the implication from Hazel Walkenden says, "Kevin, please leave this couple alone. They are of no significance. This is the only topic I see you talking about on your YouTube posts. Give us more variety, please. Kiss."
Well, Hazel, we do cover a lot of other issues if you watch this show. But as I said in my monologue at the beginning of this show, the thing about Harry and Meghan, I agree. They don't matter anymore. They're a meaningless soap opera. But you were drawn to them like a car crash. I'm not going to deny it. I find them fascinating. Doesn't mean to say I particularly admire them in any way. But they are an interesting car crash soap opera to follow. Next.
Leah said, I love this new guy on your show. When I see Simon is there, I immediately find something else and switch off. If Simon loves Harry and Meghan so much, chip in and buy an island. That will get rid of the US and England's pain.
Who was that?
Lee.
Well, Lee, Simon London has begged me to come back. And I said to him, well, can you do magic tricks? If you can't come back. Andrew?
So Julie Passo, she says, Kevin, so far I've been able to listen to your words, or I have to turn off whenever you make a miserable attempt to imitate Meghan. You're so hopeless as it makes my brain scream with 4 exclamation marks.
Who's that again?
This is Julie Passo.
Well, Julie, thank you very much for that. Thank you. I'm a great mom. I'm a lovely friend. I'm so sick of the haters.
Go on, Samara.
Betty Starling says, what a sick group of people. Prince Harry and Meghan are having the time of their lives. They have a beautiful, loving family and are strong.
We're a sick group of
Yeah, we
people.
are.
I don't think Harry and Meghan are having the time of their lives. Quite the reverse. Time for a bad ad. That's an advert for Blancmange. I mean, all their adverts involve dancing.
They're very good dancers, though, aren't they?
But Blancmange, I haven't had that for donkeys.
Oh, we love blancmange. Blancmange and peaches. You can have both now.
And on that Blancmange bombshell, that brings to a conclusion this excellent edition of What Just Happened. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you to Andrew Eborn. Thank you to Samara Gill. We'll be back, same time, same place, next week, right here. You better be there.